Be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video so you will get my thoughts on how I feel on what's going on with the changes to YouTube and channels that have to do with children. So be sure to watch all the way to the end.
If you create content for YouTube, this video is very important to watch as it describes changes to the upload process, all of your existing videos, and potentially your monetization. Hi, I'm Lauren, and I'm the head of family partnerships here at YouTube. I'm going to go through important new requirements for all videos that you should take action on as soon as possible. I'll provide some background on what's happening, walk you through a new audience setting in YouTube Studio and how to use it, and then answer some questions you might have about this update. Back in September, we shared the steps we're taking to address a recent settlement with the U.S. Federal Trade Commission that will help creators comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, known as COPPA, and other applicable laws. In order to help you comply with the law, we're now required to ask you to mark all of your videos as made for kids or not. You know your videos and audience best, so we've launched a new audience setting that lets you tell us if your videos are made for kids or not. In addition to this setting, we'll use machine learning systems to help us find content that is clearly made for kids. But don't rely on our systems to set content for you. Like all automated systems, it's not perfect. If you don't set your audience, or if we detect error or abuse, we may set your audience for you. But in most cases, we'll rely on your audience setting to determine whether a video is made for kids. There are two ways to set your audience, at the channel level or at the video level. If you know that your whole library of videos is made for kids or not made for kids, you can set your audience at the channel level. To do so, go to Settings in YouTube Studio, then the Channel tab, then Advanced Settings, and from there, go to the Audience section and choose an option that best describes your channel. Doing this at the channel level will apply to all of your older videos too, so we encourage you to set your audience at the channel level as a first step. From there, if some of your videos don't align with your channel level setting, you can mark your audience at the video level. To mark your older videos as made for kids or not, go to the Videos tab in YouTube Studio, select which videos you'd like to edit, and go to Audience. You'll also be prompted to answer this question every time you upload a new video. On the Details tab on the video upload page, scroll to Audience and choose the option that best describes your video. Note that if you've already set your audience at the channel level, this will be automatically selected for you. But make sure to choose the option that makes the most sense for that specific video. Again, it's incredibly important that you take these steps to set your audience accurately. Now we realize this is a big change, so let's dive into some questions you may have. What's considered made for kids content? Per the FTC's guidance under COPPA, when deciding whether or not your channel or video is made for kids, you should think about factors like the subject matter of your video, whether children are your intended audience for the video, whether the video includes child actors or models, whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures, whether the language of the video is intended for children to understand, whether the video includes activities that appeal to children, such as play acting, simple songs or games, or early education, whether the video includes songs, stories, or poems that appeal to children, and any other information you may have to help determine your video's audience. Ultimately, we can't provide legal advice, so we're unable to confirm whether or not your content is made for kids. That decision is up to you, taking into consideration these factors. But we want to help you follow the law as much as we can. Check out our help center and talk to a lawyer if you're still unsure whether or not your content should be marked as made for kids. How old is a kid? The age of a kid in the US is defined as anyone under 13, but the age of a child may be higher in other countries. So you'll need to consider the factors we just went through that apply to COPPA, in addition to any applicable local laws regarding children. Note that regardless of where you're based, COPPA generally applies. Be sure to consult a lawyer if you have questions. If you set your content as made for kids, what does this mean for your channel? We will start limiting the data we collect on made for kids content to comply with the law. Because of this, videos that you mark as made for kids will be treated differently on YouTube. Some features like comments will no longer be available. Most importantly, those videos won't show personalized ads, so some creators may see a decrease in revenue. What other features will no longer be available if I set my content as made for kids? Starting in January, if you mark a specific video as made for kids, features like comments, personalized advertising, info cards, end screens, and more won't be available on individual videos. If your entire channel is set as made for kids, your videos won't have any of those features. Your channel also won't have stories, the community tab, the notification bell, and your viewers won't be able to save to watch later or save to playlist. Keep in mind that these restrictions are to follow the law. For a full list of restricted features, visit our help center. What happens if YouTube's systems say my video is made for kids, but I disagree? Can I appeal? If you've not yet set your audience for your video, and YouTube has set it for you to comply with legal obligations, you can choose the option that you believe is correct for this video. If you've already set your audience for your video, and we detect error or abuse, you still have the option to use the Send Feedback button if you disagree. You can find this in your video's details tab in YouTube Studio. What happens if I mark my video's audience incorrectly? If you don't set your content appropriately, this may result in compliance issues for you under COPPA and other laws. And if we find that you're abusing our systems and intentionally marking your videos incorrectly, this may result in consequences for your channel or videos. We know this won't be easy for some creators, and that this required change is going to take some getting used to, but these are important steps to ensure compliance with the law. We're committed to helping you prepare for this transition. So if you'd like to learn more about this new setting, be sure to check out our help center. Thank you for watching.
I'm a lawyer. I read the law, I read YouTube statements, and I'm gonna tell you what they're not telling us about COPPA. Because behind all the hidden secrets and the spin is the simple and hard truth. And that is, as of January 1st, 2020, thousands of YouTube channels are gone. And creator, I hate to say this, but yours may be one of them. Let's hit this. I'm Ian Corzine, your social media lawyer. On this channel, I give you my thoughts and sometimes advice on all things social media. Today, we're talking about a story that involves four main characters. That is, there are kids out there who love YouTube. They love to watch fun shows on YouTube. There are creators out there who just want to give great programming to kids and earn a living at the same time. There is YouTube, who also wants to offer a platform for kids to get entertainment. However, they also need to make money, so they have to sell ads. And then there is the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, the government agency whose sole job is to protect US citizens from unfair, fraudulent, and inappropriate practices in commerce. The relationship between these four groups of people imploded in April of 2018. We're gonna get to that, but first, you need some background. In 1998, the FTC adopted a new law called the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA. The purpose of this law was simple. They didn't want children, who are defined as being under 13 years of age, to be able to give their personal information away, their name, their address, their phone number, put it on the internet, and then be subject to potential bad people and predators. The law was straightforward. Online services and social media platforms could not collect kids' personal information without the express consent of their parents. In the next decade, it became clear that the biggest threat for information on the internet about children was not so much them actually typing in their name, their address, or their phone number, or their age. A lot of kids, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, didn't even know their own address. The biggest threat was actually web cookies. I'm sure you creators out there know what web cookies are, but just in case you don't, they're files that are sent by online services, social media platforms, and websites, and are stored on our personal computers that contain our personal information, our name, address, phone number, sometimes credit card information, but most importantly, our browsing history, the way we click, what we click on the internet. We love web cookies because it makes our life more convenient. We don't need to enter in all our personal information each time we want to order cabbage from Amazon. The commerce sites and social media platforms love web cookies because that way they can get our personal information, they can understand what our age is, our finances are, where we live, and therefore create targeted, personalized ads to us. And statistics show that personalized ads online sell more product. In the 2000s, the FTC found that most websites and social media platforms were complying with COPPA. They were not collecting names and addresses and phone numbers. However, they also saw that most websites were accessing cookies made by kids under 13 years of age. The FTC wanted to stop that. So in 2013, they amended the definition of kids' personal information to include web cookies, or what us lawyers term persistent web identifiers. Now, the law was, after 2013, social media platforms, commerce sites, websites could not access the web cookies made by children under the age of 13 without parental consent. Also at this time, in about 2013, kids' content on YouTube and other social media platforms was blowing up. More and more creators were joining on and creating kids' content as a means to earn a living. YouTube basically took a hands-off approach during this period, and they continued to collect ad revenue. If they were ever approached about the 2013 amendment to COPPA, they said, listen, it's not applicable to us because YouTube is for kids 13 and over. The FTC seemed to buy it because for 6 years or so, they did not enforce the 2013 amendment on YouTube. But in the next few years, the statistics showed that kids continued to use YouTube and other social media platforms as their main entertainment source. I guess in 2016, 73% of kids 8 to 11 were using YouTube regularly on a weekly basis. For 12-year-olds, over 87% were watching YouTube for many hours per week. And then the implosion happened. In April of 2018, 20 child advocacy groups filed a complaint in the FCC against YouTube. They complained that YouTube was lying when it said that the platform was for kids 13 years and older. They argue that there were millions upon millions of examples of content on YouTube that was geared directly to kids that were younger than 13 years of age. In fact, they even said that YouTube's algorithm was specifically programmed to funnel kids' content and bring in kids younger than 13 years of age on the platform. The advocacy group said that this was a blatant violation of the FTC's 2013 amendment, and therefore YouTube should be barred from having kids' content on the platform. Facing big political pressure from these advocacy groups, as well as possibly the executive administration, the FTC filed a civil complaint against YouTube. It alleged that YouTube violated the 2013 amendment and that YouTube owed it $42,530 per violation of this amendment, and that YouTube should be forever barred from marketing to children who are under the age of 13 years old. YouTube settled this civil complaint in 2019 and forever changed the platform and creator and viewers' experience on the platform. As a part of the settlement, YouTube agreed to pay a $170 million fine and to stop providing kids' content on the platform, and a lot of other changes to the platform that we'll get to in a moment. What's really bothering me right now is that YouTube is not telling us the whole story about COPPA. They admit they were sued. They paid a huge fine for transmission of web cookie information about kids younger than 13 years of old. They've told us that we need to mark our videos as either children's content or not children's content. Otherwise, we could face compliance issues. But YouTube doesn't tell us what compliance issue means. What the heck do they mean by compliance issues? Well, I've spent some serious time on this issue. I've read COPPA front to back, through and through. I've read the case law. Well, I can tell you that what compliance issue means is that if you make a video that somewhere out there the FTC or YouTube determines is a video that's primarily directed to kids younger than 13 years of age, and you haven't marked it as such, then the FTC can sue you for $42,530, get depublication of your video, and perhaps have your account on YouTube entirely terminated. If you have multiple kid-directed videos on your account and you haven't marked them as such, then you can be fined that $42,000 in change for each video that is a violation of the 2013 amendment and the FTC settlement with YouTube. And what's really disturbing is I'm told about the settlement YouTube contemplates that the FTC will perform periodic sweeps of YouTube, and they'll identify creators that aren't marking their videos appropriately or have marked their videos the way they believed it was appropriately, but the FTC or YouTube determined it was kids content, and therefore the FTC can bring a lawsuit against those creators. Can you imagine if you were a creator and you made a video that was primarily directed at 15-year-olds, but the FTC or YouTube are you gonna stay on the platform and continue to make videos? I think a better question is, are you gonna stay in America? In a lot of ways, I feel betrayed by YouTube. In this FTC settlement, they could have just taken a hit and come up with some better strategy to help kids creators continue to make money on the platform and also not sacrifice the personal information of kids younger than 13 years old. But I see with this settlement, they basically surrendered to the FTC. Yeah, go ahead and sweep YouTube and look for our creators and sue them. I'm also tempted to feel hopeless, but I'm not quite there yet. There is a way that you and I as creators can fight this. I'm gonna tell you about that method at the end of this video. But for now, I wanna focus on how I feel about this new child marking video system. Let me give you a hint, not good. I'm sure you've seen the video that YouTube put out and they say, listen, you need to mark your whole channel as either child videos or not child videos, or if you have both, you can mark each video in your catalog as either a child video or not a child video. How do creators know whether their video is a child video under the FTC rules or not? Well, YouTube does provide us with a handy dandy 10-factor analysis that us creators should do each time we want to publish a video. Have you looked at the factors? They're right there in Title 16, Code of Federal Regulations, Section 312.2. I'm surprised you haven't seen them before. To determine whether or not your video is kid-directed, you as the creator must analyze, and I quote, the subject matter of the online service, the video's visual content, whether the video has animated characters or child-oriented activities, incentives, I don't know what that is, music or audio in the video, age of the models in the video, presence of child celebrities or celebrities who appeal to children, language or other characteristics of the online service, and whether the advertising on the online service is directed at children. Wow, at the end of the video, YouTube says you should consult a lawyer about whether or not your video is kid-directed or not. Listen, I'm a social media lawyer. I've read through these factors multiple times. They're written actually by administrative officials and not legislators, and I can't even tell what they mean, let alone give advice to creators about whether or not they factor in favor of kids content or not kids content. Going through these factors leads me to the undeniable conclusion that YouTube failed to tell us, they did not disclose that these 10 factors are unworkable on a day-to-day basis. I can think of dozens of examples of videos that have like kids themes, but were made for adults. I'm thinking of Emma Chamberlain and her collaboration with Jojo Siwa, Cody Ko's kids content, or what about the channel What's Inside, where Dad Dan and his son Lincoln cut open stuff to see what's inside. Is it a kids channel? Is it an adult channel? I watch it all the time and I'm an adult, but it has kid themes. Does What's Inside have to mark all their videos as children's content? If they don't, are they gonna be sued by the FTC? And I was just thinking about creators that have swearing in their videos, but they also have kids content. I mean, just take example of Cody Ko kids content video. He swears in the video, But I don't think that he intended that video for kids, but it has lots of kids themes. It has Nerf battles and lots of kids running around. Is that gonna be a video that's going to get Cody Co in trouble with the FTC? YouTube failed to tell us that these factors are unworkable. And you know what that's gonna lead to? It's gonna lead to chaos. Creators are gonna be in the unfortunate position of not knowing how to properly categorize their content. Since the penalties for messing up how you label a video are so steep, $42,530, the loss of the video, the loss of the channel, these creators are gonna be stuck. Ultimately, I think that these creators are gonna be in this position where they're gonna err on the side of labeling their videos as kid-friendly videos just to avoid the bare possibility that the FTC or YouTube would come in and do that automatically. And that is a shame because creators of videos that are deemed kid-directed are going to lose so much. I haven't even told you what they're gonna lose. As you know, as of January 1st, 2020, YouTube is going to require that all videos uploaded to their platform are marked for kids or not. YouTube has also said that in the past month, they've undertaken a massive overhaul of the algorithm to be able to effect a seek and destroy mission for all kids content that is not properly marked. So even if you don't mark your videos, YouTube is gonna do it for you. Heaven help the creator that's now been assimilated as a kids creator. Here's how those kids creators are gonna be marginalized. First off, as of January 1st, 2020, no comments on kids' videos. Now that's been the case for a while, but that's still a blow to creators. Guess what? No info cards, no end screens. Your channel's no longer gonna qualify for YouTube stories, and you're not gonna have a community tab. Your subscribers are no longer gonna get notifications when they hit the bell and get the notifications. The audience is no longer gonna be able to save your video to a watch later or a playlist. And then comes the biggest blow to creators of kids content. YouTube is not telling us that as of January 1st, 2020, AdSense revenue for kids directed content is virtually gone. Let that sink in. You will no longer be able to make a living as a creator of kids content after January 1st, 2020. YouTube has told us explicitly that personalized ads will not appear on kids content after January 1st. They've been a little secretive about whether or not any ads will appear on kids content. My personal opinion is that some ads will continue to be on kids content, but they won't be targeted, they won't be personalized. So the CPM rates for those ads are gonna be low, and creators making that kids content are not gonna earn a lot of money. So working hard, trying to entertain kids from around the world is not gonna be a viable job going forward in 2020. Kids creators, I hate to say it, but you're a dying breed. But this doesn't necessarily have to be the case. We as creators can rise up and fight against the consequences of this FTC settlement with YouTube. How do we do it? You can join me and other creators like Daryl Eves and Roberto Blake and Jeremy Johnson, and you can sign a petition written to the FTC requesting clarification and reconsideration of rules so that these draconian penalties that do exist and are going into effect on January 1st are not felt by creators on YouTube. The link to the online petition is in the description section of this video, and I encourage you to go to the website, sign the petition, and leave a comment. Tell the FCC what you think about these new rules that YouTube is imposing on creators. As I said, the link to the petition is in the description section below, and you can also access it by clicking right there. This issue with COPPA is too big for you to ignore. Sure, you may not be a kids creator. However, over time, these laws are seeping in, so I encourage you to do something about it. Together, we can make a difference on this. We can change the law. All right, that's enough for today. We'll see you next time.
Obviously, anything that has to do with protecting children, I support 100%. Now, of course, YouTube is also protecting themselves, and I understand that as well because I understand business. They are a business, and there is a liability of having children online where they can potentially be subjecting themselves to danger. And so YouTube is trying to do what they need to do so that they're not fined, and they are placing it on us, the YouTube content creators, which is okay with me. Now, I know other creators such as Blimpy and all these other kid channels, they will survive. They will be hit harder than I am because they have millions of followers or thousands of followers, and they're making a lot more money than I am. So in regards to my channel, like I said, I support it because it doesn't bother me none. It's not going to mess up what I have going on in my life as far as my income, because, you know, everything that gets provided to me is through God anyway. My identity is not in YouTube. So YouTube placing such restrictions on channels that have to do with children or anything in regards to children, that means even if you have toys in your video, you can possibly be setting yourself up for a fine through the FTA. And so for me, I'm going to start downloading all of my videos and I'm going to be placing it into my training site. If you've never been to my training site, I'm placing the link in the description as well as it being in the comment above. And so in 2020, all of my content will be on that training site. All of my YouTube videos will be free. So you'll still be able to see the YouTube videos. You'll be able to click YouTube videos 2019 and that will be that. And then you could also click YouTube videos 2020, and that's what I'll be uploading fresh new content. So when you actually go and enroll to the YouTube channel or YouTube videos 2020, when you enroll into that, you'll get notifications in your email when I've posted another video. Now, the great thing for me is now that my traffic is being sent to my training site, I have an opportunity to offer you more than just videos. Obviously on YouTube, it can become very confusing for people who do not understand YouTube or how to navigate YouTube. My training site is so much more easier for people to understand, so they will be able to navigate what they're looking for quicker and get more answers faster than how it would be on YouTube. I'll obviously still have my channel up, but I'll only have probably 1 or 2 videos there, maybe 3. One of the videos explaining how people can go find me on the training site and just 2 videos showing like what I do. Other than that, all the content will now be on the training site. And it helps me also because people do come on the channel who are not interested in childcare. They're just either there to show support, or maybe for some cases it's guys who are like, oh my God, you're amazing and I want to get to know you. And that just takes a lot of my time away. I don't have time to respond to people who really aren't there for home childcare. And so now with everyone who are interested, they will be at the training site. So it helps me a lot because now I'm able to just focus on those people who really are coming aboard, who need information in childcare and home childcare. What you can look forward to in 2020 is videos in regards to taxes, how to set up your business, your EIN, videos on the food program. The biggest thing I'm excited for is in 2020, every month I'm going to be putting up curriculum for each week. So it'll be preschool curriculum for ages 2.5 to 5 or 6 years old. And I'm going to show you what you can do for art, what videos you can use for like singing and all that stuff. So really, if you're a home childcare provider, you go and you enroll into the curriculum part of the school, the training site, and you'll be able to get updates every month for what we're going to be doing for the upcoming month. So this is a way I'm able to really connect with you guys on a more intimate level instead of being surface, because again, on YouTube, you have to be careful about certain things that you post, what you're doing. At least in my training site, I can do whatever. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about sitting down and showing you guys, being more transparent with home childcare business. And we're going to cover everything in home childcare business. We're going to also sit down and speak to some realtors and some loan individuals so that you can understand what you need to do to own a home, and the steps that you need to take to own a home, and the steps that you need to take to clean your credit. So now I'm excited because I get to just focus on home child care, and it's for every state, not just for Texas where I am. It'll be for every state. So I'm excited. I really feel like this is a blessing for me. Like, I thank God that this is happening because I'm able to be forced to focus on the training site where everyone can go. Well, other than that, comment below. Let me know, what do you think about these changes that's going on to YouTube? Obviously, if you're not a YouTube creator or you're not really familiar with YouTube, it could be all confusing to you. And that's why I added those other 2 videos just to explain what's going on. But in a nutshell, if you are a channel that has anything to do with children or has any slight hint that you're dealing with children, they could possibly fine you if you do not follow the COPPA laws and regulations. And I don't have $42,000 to be fined per video, per incident. And so I'm taking this seriously, but I still want to be there for the community. Comment below on your thoughts. Share this video so the rest of the world or the rest of your community knows. Other than that, like the video, share the video, but always and most importantly, make sure you are learning from the video. Have an amazing day.